Same thing. Stop calling yourself a junior. Ban that word from your vocabulary. Don't ever write that in anything. Don't put it. You say something like this. You say, I am an entry-level developer. Got it? Say that instead. It's always better. I'm an entry-level developer. No matter how bad the economy gets, they always have to pay to keep things running. But when the economy is booming, they want to pay for new cool shit. So that's when it's time to go over to the software and get a high salary. That's how you play the system. I'm crafting something in open source, and you can get your software dev game on, and you can do that in a way that's going to be meaningful, that's going to outlive you, that can be about something that you may never get a chance to code on while you're at work. That's my take on it. It's a pain in the ass to get your scripts to run across the board, but it's not if you write it in Go, because you just write one binary and boom, it runs on everything. So I'm kind of in a Go frenzy lately, particularly since 1.18 came out. So that's what you see me doing. Deadpool is the epitome of badass who also likes Wham. His character personifies modern masculine freedom to me. Absolutely. It totally does. And it's going to turn our node tree into some JSON that you could parse and use and would be really cool. So that's what we're going to do. Just print this thing. I think the visualization with the renderer is going to help me fix the other problem. So I'm going to go for that first. So it turns out that we didn't need all the parsing and crazy stuff that was in here. So I went ahead and moved it out. And we're back to a very simple scanner. The scanner is just a scanning. Doesn't do any parsing, doesn't have any pseudocode in it. We're going to put all of that into Bonsai itself. So I'm back to putting the scanner, putting my expression language and calling it what it is. It's an interpreter. We're calling it X for expressions. And it takes GoPagan language. And we're going to talk about what GoPagan language is. I'll give you an example of that here in a second. So here is this is Pagan. This is a Pagan specification. It's something I wrote some time ago. And here we see that the end of a line can be a line feed, a carriage return line feed, or it can be a carriage return. And this has been set by long-standing standards. But what does that look like in Go code? So if we turn to the Go code on this, we can see that we can make a Go version of that very quickly using what I'm calling GoPagan, which is an interpretation of it. It says in this set, this one, one of those. I can do that automatically, and that means that I can write parsers for any language in a matter of minutes, and I'm not exaggerating. The entire JSON specification is about 20 lines of Pagan, and I get a parser automatically out of it. Title headers within the body. So in my application, I'm going to disallow it. To do that with one of the standard existing parsers would be impossible. Gold mark breeds comma mark. But I want to be more picky about what kind of stuff I allow in my syntax, even though it's a subset of common mark. That's one reason. Do this or not. And now that I refactored it, it's so fucking easy to write. It's so fucking easy. It's just like, the crazy thing is people are going to look at it. They're going to be like, oh my God, how simple is this code? I mean, and I'm like, you have no idea how hard it was for me to make it that simple. The more simple it is, the harder it was to write. And the homeless people would always come down. We were trying to help them go to bed because we were all sleeping in the gymnasium. And they would come to me and they would say, we need coffee because it helps me go to bed. I was like, what the fuck? And apparently it's a thing. Apparently too much coffee can actually put you to sleep or a certain mindset or something. K-pop, yeah. I know. I'm sorry. I just love it. It's so happy and fun. And they have dances. I'm also a Wham fan. We covered that yesterday. Yeah, I can't talk about that anymore. We'll print the position. So the marshaled print string version of the scanner, if you print it in any capacity, is automatically the status with the error message involved. The last error message. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. I love it. If you're making them, why not? I mean, this is why code is recreational and it's artistic, because I feel like I'm making a work of art here. I mean, a lot of people would disagree. They think it's, ugly, a sin, just like they do with art. But I think it's beautiful. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And it keeps me going. I love when my test just passes for no reason. I go through, I think something that it feels like the right thing to do, and all of a sudden my test passes. It's like, it's an accident. Wait, my stuff works. I was doing something, and I don't even know exactly why it fixed it. I just know that it was a better way to do it, and it fixed it. I still can't explain what happened. Oh, God bless tests. That's practical testing right there. I can't tell you. I just keep tweaking till it works. You just can't do that in most programming languages. You have to put the and in the middle. So that's what that means. It's between those two things. That's a technique that people use. I turned the water into steam and sucked the air out of the room. Yeah, if you're raised by Hell's Angels, you probably have a hard time getting along with people in technology. Maybe not. Maybe you're the perfect person to work with others in tech. Oh my God, that's so funny. That is so funny. Thank you for that. I'm the destroyer. I'm the destroyer. I'm like the death's angel. No, I'm the humidifier. I boil the water till there's no fucking water left in the room. I kid you not. Anything more than that's too hot, including a hoodie, by the way. And anything less than that's not enough. So if you just put just exactly what it takes for the t-shirt, just like make yourself a headband, you'll be nice and comfy. Seriously, you'll look weird, but whatever. Another secret. I'm going to tell you a secret. Were you born with an unusually large European nose? Well, let me tell you, boys and girls and everybody else in between, grow a beard. It makes your nose look smaller. Great bald head, though. Yeah. I have nice lobes, as the Ferengi would say. I mean, there's an alternate geek reality right there. I have nice lobes. Yeah. My wife likes my lobes. I've got another riddle for you. Oompa loompa doopa dee dee. What do you get? I don't remember. Is it like ancient enough that we can do that? It's a different thing. I got them confused. There are both things where time elapses and everything gets better. I have been known to cheat. I have been known to delete code in order to make the test pass. I'm not above it. I am definitely not above it. What tests? Right now, my son's going out for Pi Day. He's going out with his college buddies to get a pie because today is Pi Day. Apparently, today is Pi Day. Don't let Pi Day pass you by without getting a pie. Apparently, it's Pi Day. Just saying. .r, right? And returns a bool. If we have, that's a type. That's a first-class type in Go. How cool is that? How cool is it that you can have first-class types and you can switch on types in Go? Can't do that in Rust. They have taints and whatever the fuck. What are they? Traits? I mean, JavaScript needs types. If JavaScript gets types, I mean, TypeScript is already a thing. And I just want to say it again. JavaScript has always been really good at being influenced by what the trends are in society. I mean, in the community. So, for example, CoffeeScript, I think, led directly to a bunch of the version 6 stuff that came out. That one of the biggest things that I did not appreciate was how valuable strict types are to helping beginners understand computer programming in general. I think it's better to start with a strict type language than a loosey language. You don't understand how you're using the same, bits, ones and zeros in different capacities as a different type. You really haven't fundamentally understood how your computer works, and it's going to cripple you going forward in any kind of programming you do. So learning types is super important, and that's why I love Go so much, is because it has a nice middle ground there. And I taught Python for 5 years as a first language. I taught JavaScript for 6 years as a first language. And I think that because of my feeling about types, taking a little bit extra time to learn it,
I'm going to try Go as a first language. This is going to be the first year in 2022. Based on that, though, I'm also going to say that your absolute first language is going to be Bash, because you're already using Bash from the command line. Every day you use Bash. You might as well learn the really, 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 really basic ideas of computer science and computer whatever structures, for loops and looping and variables. Those are things you can learn from those skills from Bash. You can say, okay, I know generally what computers are good to do, why I would want to program something, and then you can take it to the next level. And the next level is learning structured data in JSON. That's your first initial introduction to types, and then learning Go. We're going to do Bash, and we're going to do structured data, specifically JSON and YAML, and then we're going to do Go. And so that's very solidly in the plan for 2022. It'll be the first time I've taught Go as a first language. Or, first-ish lies. I just can't stand it. If you want to read the actual words, go read them for yourself. Torvald said it's time for something else for drivers, and it might not be Rust. That's exactly what he said. If you care to do it, go actually read the shit and not listen to some Rust fanboy blowing smoke up your ass. CTO of Joyent and creator of Oxide Computing, who said, is it time for Rust and rewrite the operating system of Rust? And his answer was no. Because you can't do the fastest IPC method is shared memory, and you can't do that with Rust. You can, but you have to be unsafe. It defeats the whole purpose. That's what he said. And then you get people like Cheeto Bandito telling us the end game of lies, which is like Linus is trying to change the kernel to Rust. If you were to tell that to Rust, he'd fucking slap you in the face. He totally would. He'd slap you in the face if you said that. It's such a manipulation of what he said. Yeah. Yeah, I bet I know the streamer too. You don't have to tell me who the streamer is, but I guarantee you there's a lying streamer out there they don't have any clue and they don't care to know. They just want to believe in their religious, fanboy dogma. And that's pretty much the Rust community cult in general. I don't mind that. If you want to keep trying to reinvent the wheel. 60 megabytes, are you kidding me? From scratch containers are 2 megabytes. Keep trying. The Rust community has overwhelmingly proven that they're irresponsible in general when it comes to making claims about their language, and not everybody obviously does that, but mostly they are. Mostly they are just totally irresponsible, and it does not build trust. I think that he's the one who was using Peg, by the way. I learned about Brian Ford's Peg through TJ because TJ used Peg to do his log query tool. So yeah, if you don't know about TJ Holowaychuk, you need to go learn it. And if you want to know why I learned Go in 2014, is because of Farewell to Node. This was the place I went